everyone, Katie from Katie's Confections. I know it's been a while, been on a little bit of a meal plan, so I haven't been baking as much, but we're back. And today I'm going to make zucchini bread. And my recipe calls for 2 loaves, which is perfect for you guys because I get to show you. Many of you have a lot of our stoneware. Love it, absolutely. I've had some of mine for 20 years. My loaf pan is probably 15 years old, I would say. Still going strong, nice and seasoned. This is our new stoneware fusion. This one goes in the dishwasher when you're done. This one I have to scrub by hand. This one goes in the dishwasher. So luckily I hung on to my old one because we have a double recipe, but I just wanted to show you the difference. This one will eventually be seasoned like this. It's brand new, so you know how that goes. You have to break it in. So I have oiled these a little bit with our kitchen spritzer because of the zucchini bread sticking to the bottom, especially in the new one because it's not quite seasoned yet. So I just wanted to show you those. That's what we will be using today. And I wanted to show you our food grater. So you can see the whole thing. This thing is amazing. So it's amazing for lots of reasons, but I mostly bought it because I wanted to make my own coleslaw. I do quite a bit, but chopping it with a knife obviously is tedious, and sometimes I don't want to get out my giant electric food processor. So this works really great for that, but today we're going to use it to shred our zucchini. I thought you would like to see that. And so I'm just using our small bar pan because all I'm cutting is the zucchini, and I'm using our coated knives. These are great. These go in the dishwasher. That's sort of the theme of the day. Always exciting. I don't like to do dishes, so anything that goes in the dishwasher is super exciting in my book. So I'm just gonna cut the zucchini in thirds, basically. This chopper does come with 3 different blades. So I have the fine blade in there, and then there's a medium, and then more of a slicing blade. Very easy to change out, and it has the little, whatever you call this thing. I would call it it's not the stopper, that doesn't make sense, but you know, to hold your food in there so you don't stick your fingers in there. But literally we're just turning it. Understand that you can't quite see all of this. Here we go. Just hand turning it. So it's coming out perfectly grated. We need 2 cups for this recipe, so I do have another zucchini on hand. I'm just not sure how much we're going to need. You can also use this for cheese and those kinds of things. If you like to slice your own cheese, I like to slice my own cheese instead of buying it prepackaged at the store. Okay, so we're gonna see where we end up with that. There is a guard that you can pop off of here. Just be very careful. This is very sharp, obviously. So you want to be very mindful when you stick your hand in there. Now, I need 2 cups for my recipe. So, also, there are little suction cups on the legs of this to hold it on your counter so it doesn't, you know, get away from you while you're trying to grate things. Also means you can't slide it neatly out of the way. But sometimes it will just shoot out the skin. It just gets stuck in the blade there, so it just shoots that out. That's okay, we don't need that. So you can see how nicely that shredded my zucchini and how quickly and easily that was. Okay, so we're looking for 2 cups. Well, that's plenty actually. We have a little extra. No matter, we'll just make that into something else later. I am going to do those. It is a little watery, and zucchini can be like that. It just depends on the zucchini. Sometimes I'll make a zucchini and it's not watery at all. So this is one of our mesh colanders. These things are great. Also good for tiny things like quinoa that tends to fall out of the bottom of most strainers. So I'm just going to press it down in here a little bit just to squeeze out a little bit of the water. There we go. Just got a little bit of the juice out. You don't want it to make your bread runny later. Okay, so we need to mix our egg, sugar, oil, and vanilla. And I'm using our largest stainless steel bowl just because I'm going to use my electric hand mixer. And you know, sometimes when you put flour in, it sort of goes all over. It always goes all over for me, but this is going to minimize some of that because it's a little bigger bowl than what we need. So, all right, so I have 3 eggs. 1 cup prep bowls are wonderful for getting ready before you bake. And I have a cup of calls for vegetable oil. I'm using canola. That's just my preference. And our vanilla. And our sugar. We actually have 2 cups of sugar. Seems like a lot. However, remember we're making 2 loaves, so really it's a cup of sugar per loaf. Not terrible. Could be worse. Okay. Great thing is these bowls have these little thumb holes in them to hold it while you're mixing. Okay, so then we're going to stir in our zucchini. It also says to stir in your baking soda and your baking powder and your cinnamon at the end after you have all of the other ingredients, but I feel like you can make sure it's distributed more evenly if you put it in at this point before we put the flour in. And also I'm using our Cinnamon Plus blend, so it's just a little bit different than cinnamon. It's more of it reminds me a little more of like a pumpkin spice kind of blend. So I'm going to go ahead and add those now. Now we're just going to add our flour. It says 1 cup at a time. I have 2 cups here, so we're just going to add a little bit at a time. You can probably see the cloud of flour. It never fails. Okay. So now before we get too far in the process, I'm also going to add, this is a great recipe to add enrichables powders to. So the kaolin fiber or the pea and protein, and now they come in these great measurable pouches instead of the individual packs. So it's much more baker friendly. Sneak it right into things. Comes with this little tiny cutesy little scoop. And so if you look at the back, it'll tell you batters and doughs, sauces and spreads, like how much to add to each thing, oatmeal, smoothies, ground meat. So I'm going to go, it says about a scoop for batters and doughs. Now remember we're making 2 loaves, so I'm going to put 2 scoops of our kaolin fiber powder in here. And normally you can just throw this in with your dry ingredients when you mix that in, but because the recipe wanted us to mix it in a little bit at a time, I am putting it in at the end. And our pea protein also comes with its own scoop. Also says 1 scoop for baked goods, so I'm going to use 2. And so basically what we've done is we've added a nice little boost of protein, also fiber and a bunch of other nutrients to our already delicious zucchini bread. And especially because there's zucchini in here that's green, nobody will ever know that it's in here. That's the best part of all. ask me all the time, you know, can you taste the difference when you have the enrichables in your baked goods or in your meals? I don't think you can taste a difference. I can't taste a difference. However, I will say the kale and fiber definitely gives everything a green tint. Okay, so if you have somebody super snoopy in your house, you just want to be aware of that. But like I said, this is zucchini bread, so it's going to have a green tint anyway. I'm also using our big mix and scrape because this dough is pretty thick. Put our zucchini in there. So you need something that's a little more heavy duty. So obviously I'm not going to use the mixer for this part. It is a pretty dense dough. Okay, and then a cup of walnuts. Gives that a nice texture. We're going to bake this at 325. And our new stone, I know some customers have asked me, our new stoneware cooks the same way as the original stoneware. Whoops. I guess we dropped you right there. The biggest difference is, again, the fact that you can put it in the dishwasher. That's my favorite feature, let's be totally honest. And also, with our, like the pizza stone or the flat version, you can put them in you can preheat them in the oven and then put like your pizza on there or your vegetables or whatever it is, and you can use them under the broiler. That's new. You couldn't do that before. Or you shouldn't do that before. Lots of people are like, oh, I've been just doing that all this time. Well, that's good. You probably got lucky, but anyway, now you can do it and not have to worry about it. So I'm just going to divide this in the 2 loaf pans, and then I will, you can see our batter is just a little green. The kale and fiber enrichables. Packs an extra little punch of nutrition, so that's good. You know, if you're going to eat this, you might as well get extra nutrients. Good reason to eat the whole loaf, that's what I think. And we do. I just made this, actually, just a few days ago, and we gave a loaf to a friend who just had a baby and ate ours in like a day. So I promised Emily I would make some more. And I figured I might as well share it with all of you. Great thing about our mix and scrapes is you can get every last little bit of batter out of the bowl. Now that's not good if you're someone or have someone in your house who wants to clean out the bowl afterwards, but I have just divided this as evenly as possible, and we are ready to go in the oven. And as always, I will be back when I pull them out of the oven to show you finished product for both. See you soon. Welcome back. Our zucchini bread is done and looks delicious. See both of them? But you can see our finished product. I'm going to let it sit in the stone just for a couple minutes before I actually turn it out, just till it can settle a little bit, and then we'll be ready to enjoy. You can eat it warm, butter, no butter, just dig it right out of the loaf, whatever you want to do. But thank you for joining me today.